Hi, welcome to One Foot in the Grave podcast. I'm Dan.
I'm Jake.
Welcome.
You should sit closer to the microphone.
Welcome.
Yeah, we're in the same room. We're is it doing the levels?
It's
like
doing,
when we talk?
Yeah.
Hello.
You need to move closer.
I got to move closer. I think I got it set on the right thing.
I don't know.
The thing that looks like an 8.
Yeah. I mean,
good enough.
Listen, listener. If you know more, write us at onefootinthegrave.podcast@gmail.com.
Caesar liked something on our Facebook.
Yeah, I don't think he listens, though.
Just a Facebook follower.
Yeah.
I've been making Facebook vids of... I was supposed to be of us.
He's vlogging. Jake's a vlogger now.
I'm a One Foot in the Grave vlogger. They're universally terrible.
Well, I mean, whoever is watching, I think it's only me. It's like basically...
Rebecca Haskell.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not supposed to say last names. You know what? People say last names all the time.
Sometimes they do.
When you watch the news, it doesn't say Billy was murdered last night outside the Split Crow. It always gives a last name.
Fair enough.
There you go.
We've been listening.
Our interrupter in chief.
Chief interrupter. Oh my gosh. There's this guy who goes around the park where we live.
Oh, yeah.
And Mom always feels sorry for him because he has no legs. And he just kind of scoots around on his little mobility scooter. And she said, he's a really good looking guy. I said, well, I think we know him, Mom. I think he's the guy from the store. And she goes, no. That guy was really short. Oh, I guess he's short too.
He's a torso on wheels. Yeah.
Yes, I think his last name is Bust. Mr. Bust.
So you're heading home tomorrow.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of your trip?
There were so many parts. I think it was cottage time. I liked cottage and I liked motorbiking.
Yeah, I wasn't there for the cottage time. So
well, the motorbike.
Yeah, the motorbike.
We went motorbiking.
Yeah, it was short though. We should have gone for longer in retrospect.
And I liked I drove Dad's Harley today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Surprisingly powerful.
It goes very fast.
Did I tell you? So he put it in storage.
Yeah.
And then died. So this spring I went to get it out of storage. And the storage is expensive. It's like $300. I was like, ah.
For the year or
for the winter
season?
Yeah. So I went to pick it up. And they brought it out front for me. And the guy said, it'll be $2,300. I said, $2,300? So for storage? He said, oh no. Your dad asked us to do like a stage 1 kit on the engine. It's got new mufflers. It's got a new air intake, new cams. I said, oh, okay.
He got it. Is that when he souped it up?
Yeah. He never rode it.
He didn't ride it souped?
No.
Oh,
Dad had, he was taking a lot of steroids. Oh.
Guess the time.
Yep. It's 8:33. That's apparently what time that goes off.
I mean, I did set it myself. And it works only on mechanics.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked the motorbiking too. I liked fishing, although it would have been great if we caught
fish. Or had a nibble.
Anything. Any action.
Or saw fish.
Yeah.
Not even a jump.
You successfully jumped an electric fence.
I did that.
I didn't dare do it.
I
thought
also
it would
successfully
shock my balls.
jumped in the water.
Yeah, that's right. You fell in the water. Yeah, that was fun. So you're going back to Australia.
Yeah. I know that it was going to be awful.
And it was 5 years ago that the event happened.
What was the event?
Oh,
yeah, when I shat myself.
You shat
Yeah. Yeah, 2 children under the age of 5 at that time. No, it must have been like 3 years ago then.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that long ago.
Yeah. And yeah, I was the one that shat myself. I mean, it wasn't a full turd, but it was enough.
It was enough to give me diaper rash over the next 18 hours. I don't.
It was so bad.
I always have a pair of underpants. I pack like I'm going to shit myself every day.
I can't remember whether, I think it was when we had gone across the world. I'd made it all that way. And then we were actually boarding. It was when we had to go through Sydney. And I was boarding the flight in Sydney. Like, they were boarding us.
To get to Brisbane.
So
just an hour and a half flight.
Yeah.
Could have been worse.
And I was like, oh, I've just got so much gas. I'm just going to sneak out this fire. And it was
fully loaded. You didn't know the gun was loaded.
Yeah. So I had to go freeballing across Australia.
I find, this is going to sound weird, but I find that often I'll be just sitting around and I'll feel this weird tickle in my asshole and I'll be like, I need to wipe my ass. And sure enough, it's dirty. I used to know if I shit myself. No, it's just a little
tickle in my ass.
It's like a little
That's
tickle
called
in my
anal
asshole.
leakage.
I don't know if it has to do with being fat and wearing my belt too tight, and I'm just squeezing a lemon.
To eat those chips,
the olean.
But I think they were boiled in wax.
It's a synthetic fat. I think it's made of like silicates.
Yeah, it'd be like something that is too big to actually digest.
WD-40 or lithium grease.
They certainly like WD-40 smells so good.
I know, it makes a delicious potato chip, but you will shit your pants.
You will shit yourself. But I mean, you get to eat chips.
But men of science could study you quickly. We've confirmed the chips go in the mouth and out the ass.
Was that just our last podcast?
I think it was the last one. Yeah. So we haven't been in the same room together. We did the one with John that didn't work.
The lost episode, and
rightfully lost. It sounded
it was
awful.
bad.
I don't know how this one will work. Usually, to me, if this thing doesn't quite make it halfway around, it's real quiet.
Yeah, it's fine because it will boost us both.
Oh well, there you
go.
Yeah. So this is probably a short episode because Dan's going to head out in the morning
to Australia.
To the Oz. And we probably won't do one for 2 weeks because A, your wife won't let you.
That's probably true.
And B, you're going to be fucking tired.
Well, I'll be tired, but also you're going to be in Florida.
Yeah, but I love doing them from Florida. I do nothing. When I'm in Florida, I do nothing.
Well, you're going to
I can't even fish.
You're going to especially do nothing now
that
you're useless with your arm.
So, so I dislocated my shoulder. I've been bitching about it on the Facebook page. But the thing is, we have this above ground swimming pool. I think same size as yours.
Yeah, probably.
Do you have the little blanket you have to roll up and put out because you live somewhere warm?
Yeah, so we just use it year round. I just top it up.
We have a solar blanket because it gets cold in Canada even in the summer at night. So you have to put this blanket on and that retains the heat. And
I don't think that you really need to do that at all.
We never had to heat the pool this year.
But was it cold? The pool?
Some years it's really cold. And if you forget to put the thing on, the heater comes on for sure. It works pretty good. Yeah.
Does it heat it automatically?
It does, yeah. You set
Why
your
didn't you
temperature.
set it to something warmer than what it was when we were in it?
It's expensive. I don't use it. Chrissy does. I've got a lot of insulation. Anyway. But we rolled this thing up, and it's been sitting on our porch for, I don't know, 3 months now since we closed the pool. And Chrissy, I was off this weekend. She said, you need to put that pool cover away. Fuck. So I thought I'd be
Where do you have to put it?
Well, we hang it in the garage.
Why don't you just leave it where it is?
Because it crack in the winter. All the snow and the ice, they break down really fast. So they only last about 3 years, even when you treat them right. If you leave them outside in the winter, they don't last over the winter. All the little plastic breaks off in the pool and clogs your... Anyway, it sucks. Fucking don't get a pool. Anyway, so I had this thing. We have to hang it in the garage because there's no space on the floor. And we have these hooks that I put in the ceiling. And got one end up okay. And the other end, it's just a bungee cord around the thing. I threw up in my mouth a little. Sorry. Anyway, I'm having an allergic reaction in my
eyes are stinging so much.
I think there was a candle going or something.
No. I think
maybe it was the sparkler that I burnt the floor with.
Jeez. Jake almost set the house alight. We're not even insured, maybe.
I lit a cheap sparkler and a piece of molten metal fell off the tip and burned a hole in Mom's hardwood floor just a second ago. Anyway, so I was holding this thing up and trying to strap it down, and I'm left-handed. I was holding it up with my right hand, and I just felt this ka-chunk, and like my whole arm came down an inch. And then I thought, wow, that felt like what it must be like to dislocate your shoulder, but it doesn't hurt. And then a second later, I was like screaming in pain. And I cursed Chrissy out for 45 minutes for asking me to clean up the shit that is really my job to clean up.
Well, you said that you don't use it, though.
I don't. I don't.
See, I would just leave it out. I'm all about leaving things that are outdoors things out.
Yeah, but you don't have the winter like we do.
No, you're right.
But you do have snakes.
Yeah.
If you left it out, it would be full of snakes.
Yeah. We have a leaf cover under 4 hours. We don't use it.
Here we go.
But it came free with the pool.
Right.
So I used it the first time that we all came over when Dad got sick. But I just leave it under, and Elijah will do bushwees off the deck and piss all over it.
Right.
And then I moved it the other day, and all of these ants came out carrying their little ant babies.
Ant larvae.
I was like, oh Lord. So it's just going to stay there now. It's part of the
landscape. Oh, drop the Ondanzatron. That's my wife. Hello. We're just doing a podcast. Sorry. Don't be sorry you're here. Do you hear?
Hey.
Say hello.
Hey, podcasters.
Do you want to say goodbye to Dan? He's heading out.
Yeah, I didn't say goodbye because you were putting Jack to bed, and I didn't want to wake him up.
I know. And I saw your FaceTime, or I heard the phone.
Yeah. But I didn't want to wake
and
anyone up or make anything difficult, so I just...
Oh, shoot.
I'd lost
I'm
my phone.
sorry.
We were looking for it, too.
Your phone was in the entryway with its flashlight on. I turned it off.
Thanks, honey.
Yeah, no problem. Did you find the key to the Harley?
Yeah. Dan found it. It was in the muffler of the other Harley.
Oh, my good God.
I would have never found it. In a million years,
I don't know how Jake loses things.
I know.
I had my arm in a sling. I'm disabled.
You're disabled. All right.
Oh, Dan, I'm so sorry I didn't get to say goodbye.
No, it's fine. No, I'm going to be back anyway.
We'll see him again soon.
I know. Well, it's been nice.
You just have to come to Australia.
Yes,
I could send
true.
Chrissy. I'm worried I'll shit myself on the airplane.
Well, I did.
There's only so much underwear you can pack.
I packed 3 pairs.
What do you do when you get that tickle in your ass and the seatbelt light is on? Sometimes it's on for like 6 hours.
You just know that you're spreading some gravy.
Yeah. Baboon
I
ass.
hope that's not recording, you guys.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah, it is, of course.
That's what we said. We invite people into our lives. This is not professional. Anyway, we love you. I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Okay, sounds good. Bye.
Bye.
Safe travels, Dan.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That was enough. That was we'd heard enough. Anyway, she's lovely.
But the soybean.
Yeah, she does eat a lot of soy. She's good. She farts in the sheets. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, but all people do.
Yeah, but she does, I think, because she holds it all day. So it's like a large volume. She probably loses about 2 liters of body volume overnight just through her colon.
Oh, God.
Lax asshole.
Gross. Oh, my gosh.
She had to buy a weighted blanket, and I'm thinking it's because she kept farting off the regular blanket.
The other one wouldn't stay put.
We bought a weighted blanket for Jack, and Chrissy was like, I think I'll buy this for me, too.
Erin wants a weighted blanket.
It's because she's autistic.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But she's like, I don't need my weighted blanket now because she's got a dog that sleeps on her right side, a dog that sleeps on her left side, and then a cat and a small dog that sleep either above her head or on her chest.
And a husband that sleeps in a different room.
No, I sleep soundly next to her.
Here, let me look up my little thing.
His little thing.
That sounded weird.
Yeah, okay, we'll post a picture of his little thing.
Yeah, I will. The other day when we were talking about you amputating your thumb, and I said one has a thumb and one has a dick. I was thinking like if they amputated your thumb and grafted your dick on to act as a thumb, and it was like a dick hand. And every time you shook somebody's hand, it's like you're getting an HJ.
Oh, wet and slimy.
You have to tap it.
Oh,
full of smegma.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry, I haven't washed my dick thumb yet.
Let me just...
It breaks out when I use hand soap. Yeah, just pull back the prepuce.
Wash your hands. Don't forget to pull the skin back.
He doesn't have a thumbnail, but he does have a meatus.
My forethumb.
Forethumb. Oy vey, I guess he's not kosher. Who was it, your friend who had never seen a foreskin before you showed her one in FaceTime by mistake?
Sarah.
Yeah.
She's like, why is the hole so big? It's like,
The hole?
What's the hole? Turns out I got out of the shower and FaceTimed, and my dick was sitting above the screen. Yeah, good time.
One time when we went skiing, we brought your girlfriend, or your friend Margaret. She wasn't your girlfriend. And we were all staying in the ski lodge, and I came out of the ski lodge wearing a towel.
Yeah.
And I put my foot up because I just had my toenail amputated. I put my foot up on the chair to look at the toe because it was sore, and dangled my balls right in her face.
Yeah, right there.
Like, whoa! Oh, I'm sorry. Even then, I was only 20. My balls were super long. And now they're really long.
Whoa. That's some low-hanging fruit.
That's, I got a weak spot. I'm like a video game villain.
Yeah, you stump on your toe.
Yeah, I got a toe and the balls.
Speaking of stump on your toe, I don't know why this came to mind, but for your son's birthday party,
Yes.
we did laser tag.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
I think that actually might be the highlight of my trip. How many kids were there?
9.
9 kids, and then 3 fathers. Me, you, and John.
Yeah, Big John.
God, the other guy. Yeah. And I annihilated those children.
Yeah. You were really running, though.
I was running so much. And I was ducking and rolling.
First of all, I put out my shoulder, and that afternoon, so Jack just turned 7. That afternoon, I had to get Dan to come over because my shed door wouldn't close. And I made him Dremel the top of the shed door off. Yeah. So it would close. And he got a rash from the sawdust.
So rashy.
It's too bad he didn't have that before he saw the dermatologist.
Oh, I already had ringworm from a cat that I saw before I came.
And then we went and played laser tag with the kids. And you were, every time I saw Dan, he was charging through the place like a Navy SEAL. Like he was about to...
It was really
he
fun.
was on the mission to get Osama bin Laden.
Yeah. I won every time.
Yeah. First place. Shooting 6 and 7-year-olds.
Yeah, it was really great.
It was really fun. I would do that again, though. I would do the
same.
laser
It
tag
made
again.
me think that paintball might not be such a bad thing.
I would do paintball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
you
then
just have to wear a heavy sweater because it does hurt.
Yeah.
I shot myself with paintball.
Well, our cousins used to own a paintball field.
Yeah.
That would be so much fun.
Airsoft is fun too, but it does sting if you're close.
Wait, is that this thing that Jack shoots? You shoot that at people?
No, children aren't supposed to.
But it shoots through pop cans and stuff.
Yeah, you're supposed to be people play war with it. They dress up. It's all very military, and they must be 8:47.
But wait, you shoot those things would hurt.
Yeah, they do hurt.
Especially if you got them in your eye.
You wear goggles. It's like
But they would
it's
go
a
through the
paintball setup.
goggles.
No, they don't go through the goggles.
Oh.
They'll go through a pop can real close, but
Yeah.
if you're 10 feet away, it won't go through.
Oh.
Yeah, I shot myself in the leg to see how much it hurt. A lot.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, more than I expected.
Yeah.
And I thought,
You didn't do the
Jack,
Rob.
Be careful with that.
Rob R and put
Yeah.
it right up to your hand and shoot it.
He still has a BB in his hand, I think.
No.
I don't think they ever got that out.
I pulled a pellet out of a cat's neck the other day.
Huh.
Yeah. I was like, do your neighbors like
Which
you?
is-
Does your cat go outside?
Which is practically nothing compared to how hard it was to get it in there.
That thing was fast.
What's going on with your arm? You got a lump. Is it a varicose vein?
This?
What's happening there?
No, that's...
Is that a lipoma?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Look.
Is that on the same side as the bad thumb?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Is it new?
No, it's...
Oh.
Remember when I fell off the trampoline?
Yeah.
And I landed here?
Weird.
It's from that.
It's crazy.
But while I get fatter, it gets bigger.
Okay. Lipoma.
Yeah.
Yeah, so listen.
Jake's on a alien kick.
Well, this is weird. So my friend Ray sent me a story that I totally meant to do for today, but
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Stevie Ray Vaughan. When I last night when we decided, we are actually going to try and do a podcast. It's like, I need a case, and I just looked up Canadian alien encounters.
Yeah,
and What I really should have done was use the one that Ray sent me. Did I send it to you? It was about a blind lady in New York who's a hoarder.
Oh, and is she she's a OBGYN and she can read lips? Yeah, I know. I've heard about her.
Yeah, no. This lady in New York, they found her dead son in her apartment behind a bunch of the hoarder stuff.
Yeah.
And like just a skeleton.
Yeah.
And there was rotten food all around him, like she'd been feeding
So gross.
the skeleton. He'd been dead, I think, for like 20 years.
Oh, she'd been feeding him.
She'd been leaving food in there for him for 29 years.
And she didn't know where you had gone?
No.
Oof.
Yeah.
It's pretty gross.
It's if you're blind, don't get into hoarding. That's not a safe hobby for you.
Yeah.
Maybe get into, what's her name?
Archery.
Mary Kondo? Mary Co.
Marco Polo?
Who's the...
They'd be awesome at that. No cheating.
Yeah. Who's the Japanese lady who does all the organizing stuff?
Mary Kondo.
Kondo.
Mm.
That was close.
Yeah.
Although I went, unfortunately, racist.
What did you say?
Mary Kondo.
I was like, Taekwondo?
Sorry.
I don't know if her name is Marie. Marie Kondo. Marie Kondo.
Kondo.
But
it makes sense because if you live in a condo, you got to be efficient because you don't have as much room.
Not so much space. Does it bring me joy? No. In the trash.
It's hard to fit my family in there. Anyway, sorry. We do have a friend who left his family because this is quite funny. He was unhappy and he went to a psychiatrist, I believe. And the psychiatrist said, you have to go through your life and decide on the things that are making you unhappy and get rid of them from your life. So he left his wife and children.
But, like, surely
that isn't, you should not take it so literally.
Like, surely the psychiatrist wouldn't have been like, well, then that's just what you've got to do.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
Psychiatrists are all pretty weird. All the ones I know. Oh, there's some more professionalism.
Who calls
for you.
Here?
Somebody looking for donations.
Yeah, it will be
they heard that Mom's a widow, so now everyone's calling her saying, your computer has been hacked.
Yes.
Some guy with an Indian accent named Jason, in quotes. Mrs. Swan, your computer has been hacked. I am Jason from Microsoft.
Yeah.
I need your password.
How many doors do you reckon are in the walls of this house?
Do you think they closed the pocket doors off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think they took the doors out. I think there's just doors in the wall.
Yep. That could be.
Crazy.
There's one here and there's one on the other side.
It's like a secret passage.
Yeah. Oh dear. Well, that's going to come through. Anyway, who gives a shit?
Yeah, no.
All right, listen, the Falcon Lake incident. That's the one I'm going to do today.
Okay.
Yep. So, again, 1967. This is the same as the Shag Harbor incident. LSD. No drones. It was the May-long weekend. And
is that a Coppola?
What?
A bottle of Coppola?
There might be.
Oh.
Yep. Is it Claret?
I don't know.
Claret? It's not very good. Claret.
That's why it's there. Probably.
Do you want a bottle of wine?
No.
No.
I just thought that we should keep a bottle of Coppola on hand for Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In case he comes back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we do a supernatural podcast.
we do a seance. Jack yesterday was like, I wish Pops was here. And I said, maybe next year, buddy. Anyway, so Falcon Lake is just outside Winnipeg, about an hour and a half drive. Stefan Michalak is an industrial mechanic. Well, he was. This is 1967. And an amateur geologist. He liked to wander around Falcon Lake in the wilderness looking for quartz and silver.
Two very difficult to find.
Well, silver is expensive. Quartz?
Yeah, quartz.
Is there
not so much.
Maybe it was the 67, maybe they'd just come out with quartz watches and he was like, I'm going to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
Oh, they can make it in a lab out of sand.
It is sand. Well, that's silica.
Yeah. On May 20th, he was exploring a vein of quartz when he was startled by the honks of a gaggle of geese taking flight. He looked up and saw two orange glowing cigar-shaped objects about 45 meters away. One landed on a flat section of nearby rock and looked, he said, like a salad bowl with a dome on top. The other hovered for a few minutes and then flew off into the distance. Stefan assumed it might be a U.S. experimental aircraft, and he didn't want to mess with it. He figured they were doing some kind of testing. So he sat on a rock and sketched the thing for half an hour. But when nothing
That's
happened...
before cameras were invented.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Here's my proof.
Yeah, I drew
a
it.
picture.
He sat there for half an hour drawing this thing and then decided to explore, approaching it a little bit closer. He noted the air around the object was warm and smelled like sulfur, and he could hear whirring motors inside. A side door was open, and there were bright lights pouring out. He heard two voices speaking back and forth, but the voices were muffled, and he couldn't tell if they were speaking English or not. He called out, assuming there were two Yankee boys inside, and offered a hand if they needed help fixing the thing. The voices stopped, but there was no reply. So then he tried again in his native Polish, and then he tried again in Russian, but again got no response. He then approached closer and had to don his welding goggles to look at the lights in the doorway. It was really bright.
Why did he have welding goggles?
I think he was using them for digging up quartz. He had something to do with his geology.
I didn't have a shovel, so I used my welding mask.
It did explain it.
Oh, right. Okay.
But I didn't write it down. Shit. So he had to put on the goggles to look inside. It was super bright inside. The ship, he noted, was smooth metal with no seams. Inside were panels and various flashing lights. I wrote fishing lights. I'm sure it meant to be flashing. When he pulled back... I choked on my tongue. I'm not a good storyteller. All this wool gathering's giving me a dry mouth, Mr. King. I could use a beer. Inside were panels and various flashing lights. We've been through this. When he pulled his head back out of the door and three panels slid across, closing the door. He reached out to touch the craft, and touching it melted the fingertips of the gloves he was wearing. The craft began turning counterclockwise, and Stefan claimed to see a grid of holes that stayed stationary on the craft. All of a sudden, he was struck in the chest by a blast of hot air from the grid of holes that pushed him back and set his shirt and his cap on fire. He ripped away the burning garments, but instantly became nauseated and sick as the craft took off. He made his way through the woods back to his hotel at Falcon Lake. He then took a bus back to Winnipeg and had to go to the hospital. He was treated for burns and, after a few days, welts in a grid pattern raised up on his skin. For weeks, he lost weight and experienced diarrhea, headaches, and blackouts. I mean, he could just have whatever I have. Yeah, inflammatory bowel. I don't have the grid pattern.
My
of welts.
duodenum's acting up.
Oh, Lois, my duodenum. The family, he reported this to the RCMP. The family became a media sensation, and it kind of turned their lives upside down. And until the day he died, at age 83, he made it a long ways. Stefan said that he never would have said a word about it, but he worried somebody else would encounter the object and get injured. He never backed away from the story and never claimed to have seen aliens, maintaining he thought it was a military craft of some kind. The site was investigated by the RCMP, and they noted a ring of bare stone with no moss on it where he said that the craft had landed, and that tested positive for radioactivity. There were highly radioactive metallic fragments noted in crevices in the rock that appeared to have partially melted, and when you look at them, they look like little, like little pieces of grid work from a bridge or something. They have little holes drilled in them. His burned clothes were recovered, and I think they tested positive for radioactivity. A psychiatrist then did an assessment and stated that Stefan was pragmatic and was not prone to making up stories, and he believed the story.
There you go.
So I thought it was pretty cool, and since you're here, I'll show you the picture. Shit, what did I just say that was called? What was the lake called? Falcon Lake.
Falcon.
Falcon Lake. That sounded like a turkey.
Well, I don't really know what Falcon.
Yeah. All right, check this shit out. Here we go. It's loading on Google.
Oh, then I'll walk the listener through. Oh yeah.
See the grid pattern of burns?
Looks like a like you would do for an allergic skin test.
Yes, same pattern.
Yeah. Turns out he's allergic to heat and radiation.
The sketch. The salad bowl with the dome on top is pretty.
Yeah, or more of a salad spinner, I would say.
Salad spinner is a good analogy because it does spin. Here's the clothes.
There's his clothing.
Grid style.
He was wearing a
shirt.
white
singlet.
Singlet.
Here's the little piece of radioactive metal they found.
Next to a toonie So,
Well, this is still evident in an evidence locker somewhere.
and they just get it out to photograph it next to Toonies?
There's his welding goggles.
Why was he wearing those?
I'm not sure. It's in this story. It's a CBC article that I got this from.
Oh, right.
But
Yeah.
anyway, there you go. So I thought that was a pretty... again, maybe a little more convincing than the Shag Harbor incident.
Yeah, I mean, the
He
guy-
got burned.
He got burned.
What he got burned by,
Yeah.
could have been...
Welding.
a 67,
He could have been welding something.
yeah, a grid of some kind. Dropped it on himself.
Yeah, and was like, "Oh no, you can
his
still
wife
insure
was
me. It was aliens. I'm very safe.
Don't worry, guys.
It was aliens. Look, I've drawn a picture."
Come to think of it, that might be what happened.
Yeah.
It was 67, so maybe he was like into making some weird. They didn't have meth, but some other
or
flammable.
maybe he was like trying to make a nuclear reactor or something like that.
Yeah, and he just didn't tell them what he was up to. And
No,
that's
it was
why it's all
definitely
radioactive.
aliens. Yeah.
That could be. It does sound like it has radiation poisoning. The smell of sulfur. I did some
Demons.
investigating. Well,
Demons.
maybe a portal to hell,
Mhm.
or the fusion reaction when helium and silica come together and make sulfur in the heart of a star.
Well, I think we would know if a star was created or died here on planet Earth.
But if you could capture that technology,
Oh,
I'm turning into Granger Taylor.
I don't.
Granger Taylor went one day and climbed aboard a saucer.
That's right. Now I remember.
He took his drugs and he liked to say,
And just
"I
stick a
wonder
dynamite
how
up
the
his ass."
saucer works." And then he flew away. Oh, Granger Taylor, Granger Taylor.
There
aboard
is
a saucer.
there's a song called General Taylor.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it about him?
No.
Dynamite ass.
Yeah. General Taylor came one day. Tinty up your ass. I don't know.
And blew him away.
We could write the
man.
next Hamilton.
Yeah, we could. We could do a musical, a One Foot in the Grave podcast musical.
If you want to hear that musical, send us an email at onefootintheGravePodcast@gmail.com. Or you can find all of our links at onefootinthegravepodcast.weebly.com. And you can send us a comment there.
Yeah.
You only need your first name, just in case people are freaked out about giving us other stuff.
That's right. Put us up. That's all. This is a sample of what the musical will sound like. Because we can only come up with the first line of any song.
Yeah. General Taylor, bickety boo, zickety zickety zap.
Skidoo, skidoo, skidoo.
Well, as per usual, I don't have anything to talk about.
We kind of had to make this one a short one because you got to go.
Well,
to bed.
also, I don't.
Yep, it's 9:04.
Well, we've got to wait. We've got to wait now for the dong dong. Dong dong.
It'll rhyme with something in one of our musical songs.
The song.
Yeah. Oh, this murder is wrong, wrong. Listen to the
Sound of my dong dong.
dong.
Dong dong diggy diggy dong dong diggy diggy dong dong diggy diggy doo. Thanks for listening.
That's what you call your penis craft hand.
My
Would you
dong
like to shake
dong.
my dong dong? But it would be hilarious if they hooked it up like a penis thumb, but kept your ureters connected to it.
So I
with
could
a
only,
kidney in your arm.
I could only extend my hand so far. This little string from my belly button keeps it like an idiot string on a mitten.
It'd be very convenient because you could just piss in the garbage can just by innocuously holding your hand over it. Just put some paper towel in. But you'd be working and you'd hear the pitter patter of Dan pissing in the garbage can with his dick thumb.
Again.
This will be right in the musical, so check that out. We're on Facebook. I've been uploading some videos.
Yeah.
You should do some of these vlogs. They're great.
Well,
Very easy.
very easy.
Take no talent.
I don't really go anywhere, so
Neither do I. They're always done at lunch when I'm at
I know,
Sandra's.
but you're in the city.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
that's true. But I could do it in the
Doing
country.
it from the dread room just isn't going to be the same.
That's true. You can
Yeah.
do it from a vet clinic.
I might do it
The
from
next time you get one with a real weird tick, upload like pulling the tick out.
Oh, I thought you meant like someone with a weird dick. Like
That too.
Yeah, you can find all those links at our website in the description section below.
Give us a 5-star
Rating,
review.
yeah, on all. We're available on all the things.
iTunes, Stitcher.
Yeah,
That's
wherever
it.
you're listening to this. Okay,
The
have fun.
internet.
The internet.
All right, we'll be back in a couple of weeks probably.
Bye.
Bye.